Why should people go to this event exactly?
For upperclassmen, it's a great opportunity to try to land an internship job. For the underclassmen, it's great just to be exposed to what's out there. A lot of students are still trying to figure out what they want to do professionally. Mm-hmm. So even if you're a freshman, your second semester, first semester, I think it's still worth your time just to make that professional connection and just see what kind of jobs are out there.
Yeah, I totally agree. What do you think students should bring to this to be prepared?
Definitely bring your resumes. You can't really bring a cover letter. It doesn't really work in the format of a career fair. But yeah, try out a few resumes. You're not going to have time to connect with all 26 organizations. Mm-hmm. But hopefully there are 4 or 5 you can target. And if you go to our J-School website, we have a list of the companies that are going to be there. And also, if you want to bring, I always think a resume looks great in something like this. If you put a resume in one of these portfolios, I think that adds a little class to it. If you don't have anything like this, just kind of a nice, simple folder. Okay. Because you don't really want to be walking around with your resumes just falling out of your bag or anything like that. But treat it like you would an actual interview. Okay. Dressed apart. I'm not the most stylish guy, but something like this would work great for the gentlemen attending. For the females, if you have a business suit, nice blouse or slacks, looks great. Think back business casual, and you'll be fine.
Okay. Why exactly? So how can this benefit students, and especially the upperclassmen? How can this help them land a job and stuff?
Yeah, just making those connections right away. It's great to have that fine resume, but kind of the next piece is just making that personal connection with the professional. So, upperclassmen, internships and jobs have come from this. So I think it's definitely worth the upperclassmen's time. And you don't want to be there all 5 hours. Like I said, it's 10 to 3. But if you can devote at least 1 hour to like 4 or 5 organizations that really appeal to you, I think it's worth your time.
Okay. And even so, I'm a freshman, mm-hmm. and I've never been to any of these career fairs. How do you still recommend me going, like freshmen and sophomores that still have a ways to go before they enter the job field?
I think it's important, just again to be aware of what's out there, and then maybe if you follow up that same company a year from now, you can say, hey, I met you at the March Journalism Career Fair at KU. So that goes a long way just to making that personal connection again. And yeah, freshmen and sophomores, don't hesitate to show up because it's worth your time.
Nice. And then I also read before that LinkedIn pictures are going to be taken as well.
Yes. I'm glad you mentioned that because we will have a professional photographer. He'll be there from 10:30 to 12:30. It's in the Pine Room, which is on the same floor as the career fair. It's also the same room where you can check your backpack and coats because it'll probably be cold that day. Yeah. And you don't really want to be walking around with a big coat and stocking cap. When you drop off your backpack, your coat, we'll have the photographer right there, and it'll be pretty quick, well lit, nice backdrop. So I recommend students participate in that as well.
Cool. All right. Well, I will definitely be there. Is there any additional information you'd like to add?
Again, just go to our website and get familiar with the companies that are going to be there. Try to do a little bit of research so you don't have to ask. The last thing you want to do is say, now what do you do? That will be a huge turnoff to the company. So, try to be familiar with what they're based out of, who their clients are, what kind of work they do, how long they've been in business. Just something simple like that to get that conversation going.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with the news.
When you shop local in the heart of the city, you support the people that make our community thrive. The money you spend here stays here, in this place we call our home. Lawrence, Kansas, where there's good old-fashioned hometown pride. Eat local, drink local, shop local.
Welcome back. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Melissa. This is your Wednesday Good Evening KU News Update. President Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, testified today before the House Oversight Committee, calling Trump a racist, a con man, and a cheat. Cohen was once loyal to the White House, but now says the bad outweighs the good. Cohen will soon begin a 3-year sentence of prison for campaign finance violations, tax evasions, and lying to Congress.
President Trump and North Korea's Kim Jong-un opened their second summit today with smiles, hopeful talk, and a friendly dinner that set the stage for the much more difficult talks to come about curbing North Korea's pursuit of nuclear weapons. Trump said he is looking forward to a wonderful long-term resolution.
The United Methodist Church voted yesterday to continue its ban on same-sex marriage and LGBT clergy. The rule book for the more than 12 million member church says homosexuality is incompatible with Christian teachings. Although the majority of delegates upheld the church's current teachings, Methodists remain deeply divided on these matters.
The film Green Book was the big winner at Sunday night's Academy Awards, but the backlash from critics has continued this week. The film won 3 Oscars, including Best Picture. Supporters have praised the movie for its tribute to racial tolerance, while opponents say it is full of outdated and full of racial stereotypes. The surviving family of renowned African-American musician Don Shirley says the movie did not portray him or the situation accurately.
KU can also claim an Oscar winner as Film and Media Studies professor Kevin Wilmot shared the award for Best Adapted Screenplay with co-writer Spike Lee. The script for BlacKkKlansman also won at this year's BAFTAs and from the African American Film Critics Association. This is Wilmot's first win and first nomination in 20 years as a professional filmmaker. And he is already working on his next project, a documentary about the poet Langston Hughes.
The Kansas City downtown airport has reopened after a plane slid off the runway this morning because of freezing rain. Airport officials said the light jet was landing to the south about 4:30 a.m. The pilot was the only person on board the flight, and there are no known injuries or major visible damage to the aircraft.
Kansas City police say over the last 24 hours, there have been a reported 301 vehicle crashes. On a normal day, less than 100 reports are made, and over Monday and Tuesday, only 79 reports were made. Kansas City police say roads are improving, but people should still proceed with caution.
The Lawrence City Commission is pushing for the city to require staff at bars and other businesses serving alcohol to take sexual harassment and assault training. This requirement would become part of the process for holding a city liquor license. The commission plans further discussion on how the training will be funded.
The women's basketball team will play its final 2 home games of the season tonight and on Saturday. The Lady Jayhawks are 12-14 overall and just 2-13 in the Big 12 Conference. KU will host TCU tonight at 7 p.m. and West Virginia on Saturday at 7 p.m. Both games are in Allen Fieldhouse.
And that will wrap it up for today's sports update. Please keep watching, and Madison will be here with the weather after the break.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Hi, and welcome back on this cold Wednesday evening. Our highs did not get very high today at all, and unfortunately that's not going to be changing as we move through the week, even tonight. So those clouds that we were seeing today are going to be hanging around through the night, which is going to keep us moderately cold. Not quite as cold as it has been, but not very warm. So we're going to see highs of around 11. The clouds are going to hang around, and those flurries that we've been seeing today might continue through the night. You might still see some in the morning, but nothing substantial. Our winds are pretty calm, and then let's look at the week. Temperatures are really not going to be changing much, and those clouds that we've been seeing aren't really going to be moving until after Sunday. So let's look. Thursday, Friday, we could be seeing temperatures into 31, 43, so we're going to warm up a little bit Friday, but by Saturday night into Sunday, that's when we'll see our temperatures drop back down because we have another chance of snow Saturday night through Sunday morning. That's going to be the biggest impact, but as of right now, it's too far out to tell snow amounts, where it's going to fall, or where the heaviest amount is going to be. So just make sure you tune back in. On Friday, we'll have another weather forecaster who will be able to talk about that more and give you more details. Then through the rest of the week into next week, we'll be seeing much colder temperatures, 17, 21 on Tuesday. And that's what we're looking at for this week. Thank you so much for joining us on Good Evening KU today. I hope that you all have a wonderful night. Goodbye.